Is your ankle pretty much healed up?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, 100% ready to go and ready to take on South Carolina.
Where were you in the Ohio State game health-wise? Like what percent were you?
About 65, 70%.
How hard was it to run on that?
It's hard, but with the atmosphere, the big game, and the focus on the game, it all went out the window, and I was giving 100%.
How has the team responded these last couple weeks since losing to Ohio State? I mean, losing your last two games like that, and how has that, I guess, changed the attitude, affected you guys?
Just more focus, and now we got 4 or 5 weeks to prepare for another team, so that means we have time to focus on the little details, both as a player and as a team as a whole. And we've been doing that. We've been attacking it. We didn't waste any time, and we're just going to continue with the grind.
What are some of the little details that you're focusing on?
Me personally, just attacking the game plan more, learning this new defense and seeing what they're going to bring to the table. That way I know how I want to play as a personal player. If I want to play at a fast pace, maybe be more patient, maybe hit the outside more. It all depends on how they're going to show up. So my job is to look at that as much as possible so I can dictate how I'm going to go into this game.
Being a Florida guy, do you hear a lot about Big Ten SEC argument growing up, or?
Not really. It's more based on, the schools that's around the state of Florida and the rivalries that thrive there.
Does this mean a little more to you playing in your home state?
Yeah, you get to go back home, play where you grew up, play in front of your family, your friends, coaches who may not get a chance to come out here to the big house. So it's very big for me personally. I also was a fan of South Carolina when I was in high school, so it's interesting that I'm on the other side now.
Why are you a fan of them?
I just love them. I had a close friend who went there, and then I had some kids in my local area that went there. A. Sanders was one. I was close friends with his cousin, and we watched South Carolina a lot, and I grew to like them. I visited there a couple of times, and I like South Carolina. They didn't offer me, and now I'm playing against them, so I'm back.
So how long were you a fan of them? Until you came here? Like, did you root for them in high school?
About 2 years. 2 years I was a fan of them, strong fan of them. And just how it goes.
Yeah.
They didn't offer you. That was an offer I assume you were clamoring for?
Yeah, I wanted that offer pretty bad. Didn't get it and moved on from it.
What would have happened, do you think, if you would have?
I would have went. My mom was. I would have went.
So the appeal was because you had a friend there? Is that was, or what did you like so much about it?
I had friends there. I love Marcus Lattimore and the way he ran, so I watched him a lot. A. Sanders, he played at Manatee High School, so I watched him play, and then we grew to play against him. Then I watched him as he went on to South Carolina, and I just liked what they were doing. I liked what Steve Spurrier was doing and what he had going on. So.
You wouldn't mind playing for the old ball coach?
No, my head coach played, was very familiar with him. He played at Florida, so he gave me some words about him, and I like the style.
So were you cheering when Jadeveon Clowney took
I was. And now me and Vincent are cool, so I'm like, dang. But I was. And that was the year I had just visited there. They had played Florida. They actually played Florida at South Carolina, and then they played in a bowl game at the Outback Bowl, and that happened. I was like, God. And I saw Jadeveon at the game when I was visiting. I was like, this is a huge dude. And then he does that, so.
When you watched that play, what did you just like see the helmet explode off his head?
I was just like, Jesus. Like, he's a freak of nature. Like, he's a real freak of nature. There wasn't anything that Vincent could have done differently. It was completely out of his control. And unfortunately, he was at the bottom of the joke.
But what about Vincent? I mean, Vincent jumped right up.
Yeah, he jumped right up. I think that's the Florida end. Florida players don't stay down, so I like that.
Did you ever tell Vincent that you were cheering for him to get hit like that?
Never. So if you guys post
he knows
this,
that.
Have you been hit that hard before? Or?
Have I been? No.